everybody to our Days for Girls fundraiser. Yeah. So the wonderful Jenny Evans. Does anybody know Jenny Evans? You know Jenny? Yes. She will be here at about 7:30. Yeah.
Yes.
To talk to you a little bit more about the Days for Girls organisation and why what we're doing today is going to be contributing to them for a whole bunch of different things. Thank you to everybody that brought soaps and material and face washes. There's a lot over there, so thank you for that. So I'll launch into what I'm going to share with you tonight first, and I think by the time I'm done, will that be then, Jenny, do you think, or we'll launch into someone else? Depends how we go for time, yeah?
We'll just go.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone online. Is there many people watching?
Yeah. There's a couple of people tuned in. Yep.
So I'm going to talk to you about emotional health because that is my favourite topic to share with others, and it's the reason that I personally got into the oil. So for me, seeing people move from this state of just being in that survival mode and actually moving into thriving mode. Now, don't think that I live in thriving mode every single day just because I've done a lot of work on myself. Some days are still survival mode for me. But the big difference is that I now have an amazing tool, probably more than one tool, let's say maybe 5 amazing tools, which are 5 essential oils that I really, really love, that really support me through that process. And I love showing people that there is something that you can use when you're feeling stressed, overwhelmed, anxious, worried, anything like that, something that you can actually use, put on your body, smell, take, etc., to help you. So my question tonight is, how do you guys feel? You don't have to share. But how do you feel versus, I guess, how do you want to feel? So, for me, I want to feel happy, free, whole, abundant. See all those beautiful, amazing, positive words at the top there? I know that a lot of women that I come across, if I was to say to them, how are you feeling? Not many of them would be using these sorts of words. They'd say, I'm tired, I'm stressed, I'm sick of working. It'd be all those sorts of words, straight to the negative, yeah? So it'd be nice to go straight to the positive, and this is what I want everybody to be feeling about themselves. So how we can do that is in a couple of different ways. I'm going to hand this one out at the end. Tonight I'm doing my presentation a little bit differently because I want you to actually think about these sorts of things. I'm going to pass everybody a pen. You can just pass them around. And this is what you're going to get. So what it says on here is you are a woman, or you're a woman. That is your superpower, straight away. Any KKK fans in the room, you may recognise this. Do not say that I printed them because I'm cheated. But this is a KKK thing. Anybody work for KKK? Lucky a lot of their stores are closing down. Yes. So everybody's going to get one of these, okay? And I'm going to tell you in a minute what you're going to be doing. Now, while you're doing that, I'm passing lots of things around. Get a pen. Get a piece of paper, and then I want you to pick something out of this cup as well. Thank you. And we're going to have a little think about some different things and how we can create some aromatic anchors. So when you're feeling the opposite to any of these, where do I aim this phone? There we go. When you're feeling any of those emotions or the opposite of any of those emotions, does anybody here automatically reach for an oil to help them get out of that state? Yes. Sometimes? Yeah? Yeah. So this power of scent is powerful, like super, super powerful. It's 10,000 times stronger than our taste. So if we're tapping into our sense of smell, it's one of the best tools that we can be doing to support our emotional health. So for me, I know straight away if I'm waking up and I'm feeling really down and I need that extra support, I know that I need to get those oils near my nose so that I can smell them to get me going for the day. So have a think about, when you smell something and it makes you feel really good, or it reminds you of a place that you've been or a person, that's evoking that memory. I was going to do a bit of a talk on the limbic system tonight, but there's no time for that. For me to talk about emotions for 15 minutes, like someone's going to have to shut me up and say, Vicky, next, because 15 minutes is not long enough. So I wanted to recap this really, really quickly. This is American. It says down the bottom here, there's an event that's happened. You've had a low grade on your algebra exam. But let's change that to, something small's happened, okay? It might feel like it's really, really big, but it's actually really, really small. So you feel anxious straight away. then it's going to move into those catastrophic thoughts of, well, I've gone really bad in that exam, I'm going to fail the whole class. See how you go from one little small negative thought and it automatically leaps into something even bigger? And then that ramps up that anxiety even more. Usually our brain will then take us to the next level. I'm going to fail everything, not just maths, but I'm going to fail everything. And then for some people that can turn into a panic attack. So, you know, that process can happen gradually for some people, but it can happen quite quickly for a lot of people as well. So the idea of using your essential oils is so that you don't get to that point. You might get that initial negative thought about yourself or the situation, but you're not going to get into that next level where it ramps up the anxiety and then everything just becomes bigger than what it needs to be. So these are the oils that I recommend. Anybody using any of these as their favorites at the moment? Yeah. So you've probably noticed here that I've put oil of truth, oil of self-acceptance, because for me straight away I love the physical properties of the oils, but for me I love looking at the energetic side and the emotional side. This is the stuff that helps me with anxiety and overwhelm and stress. So frankincense, oil of truth, pop that one under my tongue like there's no tomorrow. Bergamot, it's self-acceptance, and rose, which is divine love, or I like to refer to it as self-love. Guess where we're going to put that one, ladies? Heart center. That's right. Put these oils where you need to feel it. Wild orange, abundance. Put it in your hand, breathe it in. And for me, when I put things in my hand, it's almost like I'm receiving energy. So put these oils into your hand to receive that energy and breathe it in. And then forgive. This is a big one because a lot of women that come and see me for stress, anxiety, all these words I keep on saying, there's a level of forgiveness there. Sometimes it's to do with outside circumstances, which sometimes are out of our control, but there is one person that we can forgive in any of that process, and it's the person that it's you. So putting forgive over your heart is another good thing that you can do as well. So on your piece of paper where I've written, well not I've written, where I've printed out the little thing in the middle, I want you to write just a couple of things. You don't have to share it with anyone, just want you to take it home with you tonight. Hello. Writing a couple of things. It could be copying some of these if you want to, because I want to give you guys some prompts, or just some things that come to mind that you can say to yourself positively while you're using, whether it's these oils, whether you wanted to write these ones down or take a photo off the screen, having these ones with you. I want you to write some things down that are for you, because my idea of tonight was not just to give you the background of how emotions and the brain works. I wanted you to have something tangible that you can go and put on your bedside table or your desk or your fridge or something when you get home and go, you know what, self-care is a priority to me. And I want you to look at that every day. Or you might write, I trust in myself, I am enough. And you're going to look at that every day. Do you get where I'm going with this, lady? And when we talk about those aromatic anchors, when you're saying these things to yourself, you're using the oils that align with that as well. And that becomes such a habit that it's a normal practice that you do every single day. So when people say to me, what oils do you use? As I said, clicking back here, these are the main ones that I use. These are very, very important to me. I might use just some of these once a day, but if I feel like things are getting on top of me and I need extra, then I might use them, you know, a bunch of times throughout the day. I'm really, really big at connecting in with that. My life prior to the oils, when I was feeling panic attacks coming in, I had nothing. I had no tools. I didn't have anything to use. So my mind went in overdrive. And I know there's so many women out there. I think everybody in this room probably has oil, so it doesn't apply to you guys, but there's so many women out there that have that space where they just don't know what to use and what to turn to. So if they have an oil in their handbag, on their bedside table, on their desk, wherever, they're going to get that oil and they're going to start associating that with feeling good about themselves. Because at the same time, they're going to say something good to themselves about themselves as well. Everybody with me? Yes? So how we begin and end our day really, really matters. So I encourage you to have on your bedside table those ones that are going to help you wake up. It could be your peppermint and your wild orange, those real uplifting ones, citrusy oils, minty oils. Or of course, if you feel like you start your day just really beating yourself up, please stop. It's not serving anyone, and best of all, it's not serving you. So have those ones that you can put, again, over your heart. Really think about yourself as loving yourself every single day. And then before you go to bed at night, when you put those oils on your body, you're connecting with yourself, and that's a special gift as well. So these are some other things that you could say in the morning. I'm thankful for this day and all I can create. And then at nighttime, I bless my body and I sleep well. And as you can see in capitals, always, always use your oils. Did everybody get a little one of these? Yes. Did anybody get one that made, when they looked at it, they thought, you know what, that is exactly what I needed to read right now? Yeah, good. Same thing. Now, what I recommend with this, if you have room in your wallet, when you open up your wallet, if it's got a little space where you put a photo or whatnot, put that in there so that you can look at that every time that you're opening your wallet. Little reminders like this throughout your day are going to make a huge difference to your mental health. So the last thing I want to share with you is just to give everybody one of these. And if anybody would like to share with me what you use for emotional health, if you've got a favourite way of how you use your oils. Anybody got a favourite way? Jodie? Peace touch. Peace touch. Yep. On your wrists and whatnot?
Yeah, I wear it as a perfume, so how much you use on my wrist.
Yep.
I'll put it in my hands and breathe it in, take away any nervousness or anxious feelings. I love it. It's an oil which I'll talk about when I'm frustrated if my day doesn't sleep. I need this oil to just calm my palm to then reset and go.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. Anybody else have any favourites? Whisper? Yeah. Come in. Okay, who's up next, Bozza? Who's up next?
We have the lovely Izzy.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Izzy is going to share with you a little bit about hormonal health, so I'll leave it up to Izzy. Yeah, take one of them. Did you get one of these? Sorry. Okay. So I've got these sheets for everyone to have a look through. Pass it around. Hi everyone online, everyone here. I'm Izzy. So today I'm going to talk a little bit to you about hormonal health. So this is a big thing for me because this is what got me into the oils at the start. I actually use the oil Clary Calm, which I've got with me again. I have it with me all the time. I love it so much, but it's really funny because when I first used this oil, the smell of it I actually didn't like that much. I found it really strong, but when I put it on my wrist and on my pulse points, I found that the aroma blended with my own pheromones, which created a different scent on me to my friends, and everyone sort of has a slightly different scent. So I'll pass it around anyway, even though you may have already smelt it, just for you to have a smell again. So this is what I used when I had really bad cramping and from my period. And I just rolled it on my abdomen area and also lower back because your ovaries are sort of in the middle. So it's sort of good to cover both bases. And it really just helped with the pain. It was almost instant with the pain, like within a few minutes, it sort of subsided. And then also emotionally during that time, I was dealing with quite a lot of stuff personally, and I noticed how much it sort of regulated and balanced my hormones and emotions together. So I really love it, and I use it every day on my pulse points. Pulse points are such a great place to put the oils for emotional support because they absorb a lot quicker in those areas, and you can smell them just like perfume. And I also use it as my periodonte on my arms, which it actually helps a lot and works really well. I did it. I haven't used this either. So hormones play such an important part in our body because they are chemical messengers that just run around everywhere, helping our body with everything, all the different major systems in our body. Hormones play a part in supporting. And that is through the endocrine system predominantly. So with women's health and hormones, the women's reproductive system works closely with the endocrine system, which is responsible, as I said, for secreting the hormones around the circulatory system. So it's very similar when the hormones are secreted and going through our blood system to our organs, just like the oils. The oils are absorbed into our bloodstream and go to all the vital organs in the cells. So it's funny that hormones and essential oils both travel through our body the same way. So when we use the oils to support our hormones, it actually just helps everything else
because it's absorbed the same way. So why our hormones are so important? Because they greatly influence our body tissue and bone density. So something like when we lack estrogen, something like osteoporosis can be prone. Also, women that have a lower body fat from not having high levels of hydration and nutrients in their diet can possibly have an irregular menstrual cycle, or perhaps not have a period at all. So it's really important that we maintain our hormonal health and our levels so that we are just at balance always, homeostasis, which is our body in balance completely. So our cycle, approximately 40 years of our lives, we have our menstrual cycle. And many women experience difficulty during the second half of the cycle. So sort of just before you get your period, you're a bit cranky, a bit moody, PMS, or when you do finally get your period, you might have cramping, sore back pain, breast tenderness, or even migraines or headaches. Lately, I've been getting migraines, and I used past tense, and that really, it didn't really take it away straight away. It was actually frankincense, which I didn't reach out for first because I always go for past tense or even lavender and peppermint. But the frankincense, as soon as it touched my temples, like the pulsating like feeling that I was having, it just like stopped, and I was just so impressed how quick frankincense helped with that. And I knew that it was a hormonal related headache because I got my period the next day. So yeah, we suffer from quite a few different syndromes: bloating, irritability, anxiousness even. So something like using the oils, like the Clary Calm, is a really great oil to support your body during these times. So you can apply it to pulse points, like I said, abdomen area, even on the areas that hurt. And also keeping a balanced diet with alkaline foods like berries, spinach, grapefruit, all sorts of foods like that. So
Cake, chocolate.
Cake and chocolate too. Yeah.
Brownies.
I don't know if the name's there. Oh, sorry, took too slow. So this lady here, Madeline McKinnon, she is from Natural Hormonal Healing, and she has some really great recipes specifically designed for hormonal health if you're trying to help increase progesterone. So I always struggle to pronounce that. And the other one, which now I forgot, estrogen, yeah. So she designs recipes specifically to help women with specific health, hormonal health and balance. So I highly recommend looking her up. That's where I get all my ideas from. So other things that you can do to support hormonal health is use the oils. Again, I mentioned the Clary Calm. So individually going through the oils that she's meant, not she, me, in the Clary Calm. So Clary Sage is, actually I'll just go back a bit. So Clary Sage is really great for PMS, menopause, hot flushes, and infertility. So you could even do a blend with the Clary Sage and peppermint and make it in a spritzer and use that if you've got hot flushes. You can just apply it on your face if you're not too sensitive, or just on the back of your neck, or even just do that, and the cooling sensation is good for hot flushes. Lavender is really calming and relaxing, as we all know. It supports, sleep, really great for reducing stress, and that's also in the Clary Calm blend. Then bergamot relieves stress also, and is really great for oily skin, and also the oil of self-love. So sometimes during these times we need that bit of self-love. Roman chamomile is really great for cramps and PMS too, and it helps calm anger or any sort of irritability that you could have, or high stresses or shock during that time. Cedarwood is really great for overall emotional balance, and also urinary tract infections, UTIs, and calms anxious feelings also. And then ylang ylang, which is here too, supports low libido, infertility, anxious feelings, and frustration. Geranium, again, so pretty much all of them sort of have very similar support for women's health. That's why they're in a blend all together. Then fennel is really great to support healthy estrogen levels and health for the ovaries. And grapefruit, oregano, and thyme, not all together, but individually, are really great to support progesterone levels, whether you're wanting to put it increase or balance the progesterone levels. Then really great oils to support emotional moods during these times are other oils like elevation, citrus bliss, lavender peace, balance. These are all really great emotional oils that you can use when relevant and enhancing, supporting you. That's it. Oh, wait, I missed something, but sorry, this is slide, don't do slideshows. And then there's 2 supplements also. There's a progesterone complex, which is a natural form of estrogen-like therapy, assisting to balance not only the deficiency, but also any excess or wrong kind of harmful estrogen in your body. And then the bone nutrient complex is a blend of vitamins and minerals that are essential for bone health, including vitamin C, D, calcium, magnesium, and other traces and minerals. Okay, that's it now. Thanks for listening. And that's just a really nice quote that I like from Claire Baker. She's another hormonal guru, and she talks about the cycle and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah. Thank you.
Good on you.
Oh, here's me. Yay. All right. Just going to put a timer on so I don't chat for forever. Hello to everyone. Hello to everyone watching online. I know I've got a few of my team online, which is awesome. Thanks for joining. So my name is Jill, and I'll be chatting about fitness and exercise. Now, this is something I'm super passionate about because I actually used to be an elite gymnast. So at my peak, I was training between 3 to 7 hours a day, every single day of the week. I spent 10 years on the state team. I've competed at a national level. I've won 3 national championships. I used to wear leotards in public. And so I know a fair bit about training at not only an elite level, but also as postpartum, having a baby and trying to get back into fitness too. So I'm going to be sharing a bit about that with you guys today. I can still do splits. I can just do it. We're going to start, guys, later. If you check my Facebook, you'll see pictures of me doing splits. All right, so why do we actually exercise? And I think if we understand the benefits of exercise, it's really going to motivate us to actually do it. So first of all, it's about reducing the risk of developing a lot of diseases, things like cardiovascular disease, diabetes, cancer, and it's also really good with our weight management. And let's face it, when we feel good about ourselves, we're feeling like we're feeling really confident, it does make us feel really great. And it also can help with decreasing cravings for bad food. And I know for me personally, if I've been at the gym all morning, I'm not going to want to go home and just stuff my face with chocolate cake, because I'm like, why even bother working out? It helps you to kind of get that self-control, and you want to eat well to give you the energy to exercise. You're actually, having a good workout. It also feels really good. It really does help release the endorphins, which make us feel really great. And there's a lot of research coming out about using exercise to support with mental health. Now, for those of you who maybe don't know my journey, I had really bad postnatal depression with my daughter. And one of the things that the psychologist said was, she said to me, what do you do to feel good about yourself? I'm like, nothing. I sit at home and cry because I've got postnatal depression. She's like, what is something that brings you joy? And I'm like, I used to love running. She's like, well, put your shoes on and go run. I'm like, but I can't, the baby, and I can't do it, and da-da-da. And she's like, just put your shoes on and go for a run, even if it's just one lap around the block. And I still remember the first run I went for. I was at Willoughby at Tresillian, and I went for like one lap, and then I just kept going and going, and I did this like 20-minute run, and it was the best feeling. Like, I felt so good to be moving my body and feeling amazing. And then of course the next day I couldn't walk because I hadn't run in so long. But it really does, you know, when you get that flow of endorphins, it really makes you feel fantastic. It's also really important in helping us to have strong bones, and it's also really great for supporting healthy sleep habits. Who here has ever laid in bed and you're like, you just can't switch off? Like you just don't, yeah? We've all been there. When you're exercising, when your body is moving, you do feel more rested at night because you've used up that energy, you've burned it, and now you can actually relax and have a good night's sleep. Now, how much exercise? According to the latest Google search, it is it is 30 minutes of moderate exercise a day. And strength-based should be actually 2 times a week, around 2 times a week. And the biggest thing is to focus on being active. I don't care if you go to the playground with your kids and you climb up and go down the slide 50 times. I don't care if you go to the gym and smash out a weight session, or if you go to Zumba or you do cycling. Just get yourself moving, whatever it is. And the biggest thing is doing what you love. And there's a long running joke in my house that if you put on music, I will dance for 2 hours straight and like love it. But if you put me on bicycle, like seriously, if you make me get on a bike, I will cry within 5 minutes because I hate bicycles. So if you find, it's about finding what you love.
Do you want to do that cycle class?
Oh, far out. Don't even, it's not going to happen. Just let it go. Which is unfortunate because the only exercise my husband likes doing is bike riding.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, I know it's tough. It's tough. But yeah, if you're doing something you love, you're going to want to do it more. So find what makes you happy. If you want to go to Zumba and dance around, go for it. If you want to get on a bike and bike ride, or go surfing, or go for walks, whatever it is, find something you love. And of course, always consult a doctor before starting any sort of exercise. And particularly if you've had children, I really do strongly recommend, even if you think you're okay, go see a physio, get your abs checked, get your downstairs bits checked, make sure everything's okay before you start exercising, because you can actually do more damage if you're, you know, not ready to start yet. All right, so let's talk about oils. Which oil is the most beneficial? So each essential oil has a unique set of chemical properties that are going to give that oil a distinct aroma, and it's also going to give it specific benefits which can be useful. So the most beneficial oils are going to be things like our warming and cooling oils. So they can be helpful before and after we exercise because they can provide that soothing sensation to the skin and also to other parts of our bodies. So for example, you can be applying your warming oils as you're warming up, and that'll help get your circulation going, get you warmed up and ready to go. Once you've done your exercise, applying those cooling oils to your body can help you to cool down and feel really refreshed and relaxed. Now you can actually use the warming oils during your cool down and the cooling oils during your warm up. You can use them whenever you want to. And I always encourage people to be really intuitive and just seriously grab what you think you're going to use and just go for it. Now some warming oils are things like your black pepper, your cassia, your cinnamon, clove, frankincense, and your wintergreen. And cooling oils are things like our basil, our cardamom, and our peppermint. Now, I know I'm one of those really annoying people who loves going to the gym and gets really excited about going. And a lot of people aren't like that. So what they recommend is using uplifting, motivating, and energizing oils. Because it can be really hard sometimes if you're not really feeling like going to the gym. And I find things like put some elevation in your hands, put some citrus oils in your hand, pop some peppermint or wild orange, grab an oil that's going to make you feel really good and be like, yeah, I can totally do this. And just get out there and go for it. Now, you could even be diffusing the oils as you're doing your workouts as well. Obviously, if you're at the gym, don't bring a diffuser and plug it in. People look at you strangely. But if you're at home and you're doing a workout DVD, pop some grapefruit in the diffuser and really be inhaling that aroma. So oils like bergamot, cypress, grapefruit, lemon, spearmint, and tangerine, they have those really uplifting, joyful properties. Now, calming and relaxing oils. These are my favorite oils because I tend to go about 100 miles an hour and sometimes I need a bit of help slowing down. So one of the things that's actually really important when you're exercising is to actually have that active recovery. Now, this is a really, really basic explanation. So if you are a sports scientist, please don't kill me. When you exercise, you're basically breaking your muscle, and when you rest, your body rebuilds it stronger. That's very, very basic explanation. But if you're constantly working out and you're constantly breaking that muscle, but you're not having that rest and relaxation time, you're not going to have that muscle rebuild and you're going to be really sore. and in a lot of pain, and you'll probably do yourself an injury. And it's also quite easy when you first start exercising, like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the gym every day. And by day 3, you like literally can't walk. So that's where it's important to use the oils that are gonna help you have that rest and relaxation time as well. So that can be things like your lavender peace, all those beautiful woody oils that are gonna really help you to calm, rest, and recover. Now, as well as these oils, there are also some additional ones that I personally love and really recommend using. So first of all, when you exercise, your heart rate goes up and your breathing often deepens and you need to breathe. So using oils, they're going to help you with clear airways and easy breathing. Anyone think of an oil?
Easy air.
Yay! Easy air peppermint. Woohoo! Good work, guys. Did you know? You ready? So, cardamom, Douglas fir, eucalyptus, lavender, tea tree, and peppermint. They're all really good ones for respiratory support as well. So if you're kind of getting sick of peppermint, there's some different options as well. Now, easiest way, honestly, just whack it on your chest with some fraction of coconut oil. Gets you breathing clearly, gets that oxygen going. Peppermint has the double bonus of peppermint makes you not feel like you're going to throw up if you work out too hard. So peppermint's a goodie. And then we also have massage. So massage can be a really great way to help yourself in the recovery stage. And there are a lot of oils that have anti-inflammatory properties. Just for funsies, earlier this year, I thought I'd tear my shoulder so I could be a personal case study of all the anti-inflammatory oils. I really, was so dedicated. And don't recommend you guys do it, just learn through my mistake. And doctor basically said I was going to have 12 weeks of pain and 12 weeks of physio. And 6 weeks later, I walked out of there and she was like, yeah, you're fine. So even the physio was gobsmacked. And basically, I just used the anti-inflammatory oils every 2 to 3 hours. So I was using Siberian fir, copaiba, frankincense, aroma touch. I think I threw lavender in there one day because I couldn't find anything else. And just literally a couple of drops, massage it in every 2 to 3 hours, just massage. And it really made such a difference in my recovery time and reducing the pain. So massage can be a really, really good technique. And it doesn't have to necessarily be going to a masseuse, although if you can, they're amazing. It could literally be just grab some oils and just give yourself a little, rub where you want to.
Get your man to do it for you.
Get your man to do it for you.
Or your partner.
Or your partner. Or here's a really fun one if you have small kids, put it on their feet and get them to walk up and down your spine. They love doing that.
Yeah. With infant shiatsu.
Yes, infant shiatsu.
Can you repeat
The anti-inflammatory?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just trying to remember. The Siberian fir, copaiba, aroma touch, frankincense, and I threw lavender in there once, and ice blue rub, and all the ice blue. Just literally just douse yourself in ice blue. Some other oils that can be good for massage is black pepper, cedarwood, cypress, eucalyptus, ginger, lemongrass, vetiver, and wintergreen. And I'll send you this if you guys want afterwards. Now, immune system. So when we exercise and, we're pulling apart our muscles and rebuilding them and stuff, immunity can actually become quite compromised. So especially if you're doing endurance training or, you're training for 4 hours straight. Also, generally speaking, when you exercise, you're around other people, and the more people you're around, the more germs you're around. So it's really important to keep your immune system quite strong. What's our number one go-to? Yay, you're all so smart. So On Guard's obviously the biggest one. We've got some extra ones too. So all the oils that are in On Guard, so your clove, your cinnamon, your frankincense, your wild orange, they can be fantastic. And also things like your lime, your juniper berry, thyme, and myrrh, they can all be really great oils for supporting your immune system too. And then finally, metabolism to help us with our, there we go. Metabolism is for helping our body to digest our food, which is what we want to be doing if we're working out, and particularly if our goal is weight management. And that's where we can be using oils that can support our metabolism. So obviously we've got our Smart and Sassy, but we've got things like our grapefruit, our fennel, our clove, bergamot, black pepper, and thyme. These can all be beneficial ones as well. Now we also have some oils for the more specific exercising, activities. So we've got our beautiful yoga collection. So if you're into yoga, that's a really gorgeous one. Even things like balance can be really helpful as well to help you stay grounded if you're doing your yoga practice. And if you're doing any sort of outdoor sports, whether that's going for a walk, things like your terra shield, your bug repellent. Even I found, was it you that told me the lemongrass, lavender, and cedarwood? Was that you? No?
I'm an arborvitae seed we've got.
Yeah, so arbor and cedarwood, yeah. Someone else told me lemongrass and lavender, and I found that works a treat.
Yeah. So
that's another one you could do. And again, you're going to smell good, you're going to keep the bugs away, and everyone will be like, oh my goodness, you smell it. And finally, hands up who's on the LLV. All right, everyone who's not, look around and see how glowing we look. See how amazing we are. Okay, get on the LLV. I know. Oh, look at you, babe. Inspiration for us all. So lifelong vitality is fantastic. It's the easiest way to get the benefits from your oil. And I say this in every class. Lifelong, thank you, because I'm like dying here. I thought it was just because I was presenting.
Yeah, it has the temperature, guys. Are we simulating a hot flush here? Busy? Yeah, it's just good. That was a demonstration for hormonal health. But we need to stimulate it, especially for people like me, right? I'm never going to experience this. This is what it's like.
So with your lifelong vitality, it's going to help the oils to work better because it's going to give your body the vitamins, the neutrals, all those good things you need that then the oils can come in on top and help out. And remember what I said, when we're exercising, breaking apart muscles, rebuilding them, that lifelong vitality is going to help your body. And I honestly noticed such a massive difference. Even if it's just been like 2 or 3 days where I've forgotten to take anything, I really do find I'm more sluggish, I'm more cranky, I get the 3 o'clock munchies. So really, lifelong vitality, I really challenge every single person to give it a try. And it can take a while to kick in. Like I don't know if you guys have ever heard my really hilarious story about how I took the lifelong vitality for a month and then went, oh, that was a bit crap. Like just didn't do anything. So I came off it. And 3 days later, I was like, why? And like, oh my God, I'm just like, I was so exhausted. And I was like, maybe that lifelong vitality stuff worked, but it was just very gradual. And, you know, it's like your hair growing. You don't notice it's growing. And then all of a sudden you go to put it in a ponytail and you're like, oh, it's really long now. So that's like how I found the lifelong vitality is I don't really notice when I'm on it, but when I come off it, that's when I notice the change. So definitely recommend the lifelong vitality for everyone. And finally, here is my oily exercise routine with my lovely selfie from pump class the other day. Number 1, lifelong vitality. That is the basis for good health. Doesn't matter if you're talking hormonal health, emotional health, physical health, get on it. Before I exercise, if I'm doing cardio or strength workout, peppermint beadlets. As I said, you have nice fresh breath, which everyone at the gym appreciates. It helps support your respiratory tract. And there was a really cool study done recently where they gave peppermint to athletes prior to exercise. And they found that peppermint actually increases aerobic endurance because it helps you to breathe better and then you can have a better workout. As I said, it also stops the vomity feeling in your tummy, which is helpful. And if it's a yoga or a stretch class, then I like to apply balance because that helps me stay really grounded, really present, stop stressing about the kids in the creche and hoping that my kids aren't beating up some other child that day. And it just helps you really to get in that mindset. Now, while I'm working out, I love putting lemon in my water, drop a peppermint in my hands, some wild orange in my hands. That gives me that energy and that motivation, especially if it's a really long workout or I'm going for quite a long run. And then afterwards, all the ice blue, just bathe in the stuff. Honest to God, it's amazing. Siberian fir, aroma touch and frankincense, they're the ones I find really work well for me. And even just grab some Epsom salt, chuck a drop of them in, a quarter of a cup of Epsom salt, throw it in your bath and have a really nice bath, or just massage it where you're sore. And that's basically my little oily exercise routine. And if you guys like, I can post this link to my...
We'll share. We can share this.
You can all just print off pictures of me and my leotards and just like gaze at them lovingly every night. But that's it. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
How'd I do for time? On time. Who's next?
Welcome, Jay.
Welcome, Jay.
Oh, look at that box in the picture. Oh. Yeah, not this one though. Okay. My name's Jodie Crowley, and I've been sharing oils for 5 years now. I am Renee Twilly's sister. For all you thinking, oh, you look like Renee.
Oh yeah.
Like mine. This is actually me. And I used doTERRA essential oils throughout my whole pregnancy, birth, and now that's the only thing I've ever used with my son, Zach, who is 17 months now. So I want to tell you my journey, I guess. So preparing for pregnancy and birth, these books I read and loved. A lot of the information that I'm sharing with you tonight, I read from the Essential Oils for Pregnancy, Birth and Babies. So Stephanie Fritz is a midwife in the US, and she's been using essential oils for 30 years. And the doTERRA ones since they came out in 2008. She also has a Facebook page called The Essential Midwife, and you can follow her, and I watch her lives, and she's always updating on new oils, so she's a really good resource. Gentle Birth, Gentle Mothering was an awesome book that really compares the pros and cons of, pros and cons of a C-section, pros and cons of getting inducted. It kind of explains everything to you and what to expect coming up to the birth. And this was really good to make an informed decision, so to be educated about what's going to happen. Up the Duff was just a really funny book, yeah, like really to the point. No. No, I got given that but that was day to day. You just read little snippets of what was going to be happening that day, and you can totally relate to what she's saying. So that's, yeah, really lighthearted. And then Calm Birth, I didn't do the Calm Birth course this time round. I did another one-day natural birthing course, but I would consider the Calm Birth one next time. So I really like all the positive birth stories in it and all the techniques that they've used. One of them was doing affirmations. So I sat over a fair few days writing affirmations out that I actually forgot on the day of the birth to use. But I still have them, and it put me in a really positive mind frame whilst I was doing it. So one's like, this will not last forever. This is only temporary. You can do anything for a minute. A relaxed face equals a relaxed uterus. So just really positive, uplifting quotes. I was doing meditation every day. So One Giant Mind is an app that I highly recommend. Guided meditation for 15 minutes. I was making that a priority. I was also doing yoga, and I continue to do yoga now, and I will throughout my next pregnancy once I become pregnant again. And I was doing that 2 to 3 times a week, and even on the day of labour, I went to a yoga class before, so I was 40 weeks and 4 days, and went into labour naturally, which is what I wanted. And then quality nutrition, supplements and essential oils, which I'm going to talk about today. So when using essential oils in pregnancy, the doTERRA brand ones, just avoiding clary sage and jasmine and rose, until in labour or until 40 weeks. So this is because these are uterine stimulants, so they'll actually strengthen contractions. They won't bring on labour unless everything is aligned in your body to start labour, but they will strengthen contractions. You may need to dilute the oils more than usual, so the touch range is perfect. I don't know if you've all heard of the doTERRA touch range. Some of their oils, they have in 10 ml rollers here, and they're already pre-diluted with fractionated coconut oil, ready to use. Also great for kids and people with sensitive skin. And you can still use doTERRA essential oils aromatically, topically, and internally during pregnancy. So trimester 1, I'm just going to talk about the symptoms that I had and the products and oils that I used. There's a long list of symptoms in each trimester, and I do have a handout if anyone else wants more information with the other symptoms and possible solutions on there. But tiredness, oh my gosh, I've never been so tired in my life in the first trimester. I was like, literally, where are the toothpicks? Because I just wanted to sleep all day. So one of the things I found really helpful
yes, you can use, and I was using peppermint in my hands, the uplifting oils to pep you up. But the thing that I found the most useful thing was sleep, and using oils that let you have a relaxing sleep. So vetiver was and still is my #1 favorite. So just a drop in the palm of my hands, actually 2 drops, maybe 3, on the back of your neck. And I notice whenever I wear that, I just dream so much, and I wake up feeling energized and rested, and my whole body just feels great. So I remember so clearly going to bed so early, like 7:30 every single night in trimester 1. I just couldn't wait to get to bed. And I really loved lavender in the diffuser during pregnancy. So I had that, had the diffuser going. I still do every night without fail. And also I was only taking half dose of the Lifelong Vitality because I thought that I was a pretty healthy person, but I increased to the full dose and I haven't looked back since then. So that's really helped as well to allow my body to have the nutrition that it needs. Nausea, I remember having 2 days in week 5 of nausea, and I had my Terrazyme on the way from the US. So Terrazyme is a supplement that doTERRA do to the digestive enzyme. And Stephanie talks about it in her Essential Oil book. And on that 3rd day, I started taking it, never had a day of nausea from then. And I was so relieved because those 2 days, I was like, this isn't feeling good if this is going to be my whole pregnancy. And I, yeah, 2 days was enough.
2 days.
2 days
Yeah.
was enough.
Okay,
So I reminded Renee
16
actually when she was pregnant with Dylan, because she had forgotten, and that from the day she took it, she was like, oh my God, thank you so much for reminding me, because that, yeah, so good. And then constipation I did have. So when you're, I guess, forming a baby, all other things get compromised. You get dry skin, brittle nails, your digestive system's not as good as it normally is. So using Digestem, just a couple of drops on my tummy really helped in that time. Also the Terrazyme and the Long Life Vitality Pack. And I remember, I don't remember really, but I did have notes that I was feeling really grumpy. So I was using Balance, just a couple of drops on the back of my hand, on my neck, and just as perfume. And I did get a sore throat, so it was fine just to have a drop of On Guard in some warm water and gargle that during pregnancy. So trimester 2, I remember having, starting to get the backaches. Ice Blue Rub was my best friend, just applying that straight on. I started to get a belly from, I think it was almost 6 months, and my mum said that she was the same, so popped a bit late, but I was doing the Salubel on my belly every single night without fail. So just a couple of rolls, and this is to prevent stretch marks, also on your boobs. Do you get stretch marks on your boobs? So I didn't get any stretch marks. I'm going to do that again. So I don't know, if I was going to not get them, because some women are more prone than others, but I'm not willing to take the chance. So I'll be doing that again. Leg cramps was also another one that, genetic. Leg cramps, they woke me up in the night time. So I was lathering on the Aroma Touch with a bit of fractionated coconut oil, massaging towards my heart. And when I went to bed also, I went back and read my book and ordered the bone nutrient complex. So this is extra calcium, extra magnesium. And from when I took that, they stopped, because I was talking to a lot of other mothers and they're like, oh no, it continues until you have the baby. And I was like, no, I can't have this for another 10 weeks. So the bone complex really helped that. I also came home from work one day because I started to have a slight temperature. It was winter, had a bit of a head cold. So I straight away did the protocol of oregano, On Guard, tea tree and lemon, 2 drops of each, bottoms of my feet, morning and night for 10 days. And the day that I had the temperature, I also put a drop of peppermint on the back of my neck. That went the next day, and I was able to get through that period without having any other things like Panadol and things like that. Trimester 3, I didn't hold a lot of fluids, but looking back on photos, I could see that I did have some. I was drinking lemon in my water, so the lemon essential oil, and I was also doing the aroma touch for the leg cramps, which were also helping with fluid retention at the same time. I also remember getting really, really sore feet. I'm an occupational therapist, and at the time I was working in the hospital, so I was on my feet all day, and as my tummy grew bigger and bigger, they'd just be so sore at the end of the day. And that's the only time in the 10 years that I've been with my husband that he massaged my feet. So that was that was a really nice treat that he did that for me. So sleep started to be disturbed, my hips were starting to get sore, it was uncomfortable, I had a mountain of pillows, tossed and turned all night. So again, having those sleeping oils in the diffuser, the lavender, the vetiver on the back of my neck really helped. And I did do some perineum massage with Sally Bell just to prepare. Again, it's hard to tell whether or not that helps. Just doing massage without oils, there's research to say yes it helps, yes no it doesn't help, so everything was worth a try. My mood was very variable in third trimester, so wearing balance and frankincense for my emotions, just as perfume was good, and I continued the Sally Bell on my belly. And one other thing that's really helpful was a website called spinningbabies.com, and this was different exercises to improve fetal position. So Zach was actually posterior leading into the birth, and for 19 hours of labour he was posterior, and his head wasn't engaged in my pelvis for majority of that time. So to prevent C-section, to prevent having to turn to drugs, I was doing spinning baby exercises. And I remember one part of the labour, me being on the hospital bed, kneeling, and like putting my head down into a chair to kind of lift him up. And then when I'd come back up the right way, he'd kind of settle back down, and different ones of like lifting my belly up and putting my back straight on a wall. And that ended up helping in the end. And within the last hour, he turned and came out the right way. And I got to have my natural birth. So I actually had a birth plan written, and my midwife was on board with this, and yeah, it all worked out.
Oh no, it did work out.
No, it did work out. Yeah. Can't have plans go out the window. So this is my birth kit. These were my instructions for Dave, and in hindsight, didn't work. Next time, I would have all the blends made up, already labelled back pain, because in the heat of the moment, Dave's not going to go, oh, I have to mix 2 drops of black pepper with 2 drops of basil and 2 drops of fibre, 6 drops of fractionated coconut oil, and apply to her low back if she has back pain. So he was lathering oils, he was putting black pepper and basil on my back. I do remember him coming over with balance and lavender, so I was sniffing those out of the bottles. I did have the wild orange and the balance in the diffuser, and this was to balance emotions and ease anxious feelings, also to provide courage and strength. And I was wanting to, when the baby's head crowns, you can put 5 drops, or have it mixed, ideally. 5 drops helichrysum, 5 drops frankincense in some coconut oil, and you can put it around the perineum to help lubricate and ease the baby out. I was in the bath at the time, and totally didn't even think of it, so I didn't get to do it. But yeah, it would be interesting to see. Yeah, be interesting to try that. So I didn't get to have a water birth. I had to have him on the bed, but yeah, next time. Always the next time, hey? So newborns, this is Zach. So in the first hours after birth, and I'm pretty sure Renee and Brian did this with Dylan, don't use essential oils on premature babies, but if you have full-term babies, you can use frankincense, 1 drop undiluted on the crown of the head and spine as protection and bonding, also assists circulation and transfer of oxygen in the cells. Myrrh, 1 drop undiluted on the umbilical cord to help seal the tissue and protect all systems of the body. 1 drop of balance undiluted on the feet to ground and align the baby. And if you have Melissa, you can do a scant drop, which is putting your finger over the top and putting that on the bottoms of their feet for DNA repair. So DNA is damaged from thoughts and emotions and other negative experiences in the womb and throughout the birthing process. So they're just as traumatized as yourself and adjusting to this new life outside the womb as you are as a new mother. So once Zach was earthside, I continued to do the MER on his umbilical cord every day to help that heal. Balance on the bottoms of his feet, 1 drop of lavender in the bath, and I only still bathing in lavender essential oil and water, and diffuser. Every sleep I've had the diffuser on in his room. With a newborn, starting off with just 1 drop, but now he's 17 months, I do 3 to 4 drops. And it's really important to make sure the diffuser is close enough so the mist is actually landing within their cot or, you know, near their face, because a lot of people have the diffuser on the other side of the room and wonder why it's not working and maybe have 1 drop for like a 6-year-old. So it's really important the position of the diffuser and how many drops of oil you use.
What
So
about ventilation in the room? That's a common question I think last week.
I didn't have the windows open, if that's what you meant. I think if you get the dosage right, you shouldn't need ventilation. Like, yes, if you're going to put 10 drops, you know, your baby's going to be like, excuse me. But just start with 1 because you can always add more. You can't take it out if you put too much. You have to, tip it out and then you lose your oil. So just little bits more often rather than a big lot. And that goes for all of us. So postpartum, baby blues are so real. I remember in the first week, I think it was about day 4, and I was in the shower and I was like, I want my midwife. Because she was the only other one apart from Dave that was there through the process. And Dave's like, what's wrong? What's wrong? Why are you crying? And I'm like, I don't know. So in that time, and that's only short-lived, you know, in the first 2 weeks, and then if it goes on to being sadness over a long period of time, that's when it's diagnosed as postnatal depression. But it's just your hormones are everywhere, you're adjusting to life. So balance and peace, wearing them as perfumes. This is my piece here today, and diffusing it for emotions. They're really good. Perineum spray, I had a little table set up beside the toilet. So all my little bits and pieces, my pads and my spray, so 40 drops of Salubel in a 30 ml spray bottle filled with coconut oil, and I'd spray that on my perineum at every pad change. So this is like every 2 hours. I've stayed very close to the toilet in that first couple of weeks. And piles popped up, unfortunately. So I had a little ceramic dish from Woolworths, cost me $2. And I had 1 drop of geranium, 1 drop of lavender, and 1 drop of cypress. And same thing, I would just apply that at the pad change as well. And that helped. So breastfeeding, peppermint may decrease your breast milk supply. It may not. Blends with peppermint are normally fine, but everyone's different. So if you love peppermint, you can continue to use it. But if you notice a decrease in your breast milk supply, maybe stop it for a little while and see if it makes a difference. Fennel will increase supply. So I have actually used that on my breastfeeding journey. I'm still breastfeeding. So I actually gave this to a friend the other day and she was like, oh my gosh, that fennel is amazing. So just 2 drops in water 3 to 4 times a day, up to 10 days. Once you notice an increase, then you can stop. Dry or cracked nipples, you can apply sandalwood directly onto the area of concern after the baby has a feed, and then it'll be at least another hour or 2 until they feed again, so you don't need to wash it off. Also checking with your midwife that you're having the right latch, so that's really important too. And mastitis, lavender is one that I remember I didn't get mastitis, but it was when Zach was 3 weeks old and your boobs are kind of adjusting to how much milk is coming in. And I remember a red mark here and just getting a drop of lavender and massaging towards the nipple, and then also feeding with the baby's chin to where the blocked duct is. So I did like a mummy football hold and that really helped. So yeah. And last slide is on babies. So 1 drop of essential oil to 1 to 2 tablespoons of fractionated coconut oil. When they're younger, do the 2 tablespoons, and then as they get older, you can go to 1 tablespoon. And now Zach at 17 months, I do probably 1 drop to 1 teaspoon. Or you can use a touch range. So these are super handy. I have these in a pouch that are Zach's oils. So for tummy aches, digestion and touch, I grab it, bottom of the feet. If this is during the night, in the morning, he has a poo in his nappy. I swear it every time. It works really well. Nappy rash, he had that tonight. I normally do fractionated coconut oil as a nappy balm. So when I'm doing a change, if I have it there, I'll just do a little squirt, even if there's no rash. But he had a bit of redness tonight, so lavender touch straight away, just right on all the red bits. And that is Zach's oil. And then teething blend, so I do 1 drop of papaya, Roman chamomile, lavender, Siberian fir in a 10 ml roller bottle filled with fractionated coconut oil, and just applying that onto the jawline at feeding time or bedtime. And a fever, if they get a fever, normally they do with teething. I do peppermint touch on the bottom of Zach's feet. You can do this every 15 to 30 minutes as needed until the fever resolves. But if it's overnight, I'll just do it when he wakes up. And I also have patchouli in the diffuser. So I do 3 drops now, but if it's a newborn, 1 drop. Yeah. And that's all from me.
Special guest in the room for Alicia for us. Jenny, do you want to promote her?
This is Jenny, who I was talking about at the beginning, who is now a beautiful friend of mine. And Jenny is, you've even got your.
I've even put this
shirt
on over the
Oh,
top. I'm sorry.
love
I've been to a very important cocktail party, so I've got kind of, I'm half,
Yeah, right.
you know. Oh yeah. I've only had 1 drink. It's okay. No, I won't.
So Jenny volunteers for the Gosford North group, which is back to carry on. Yeah. So maybe you'd just like to share a little bit with us about what you guys do up there, and then what Dates for Girls is.
Well, as you can see, we've made a little bit of a display here so that you can all see what we do. Dates for Girls is a worldwide organisation. We are part of the Australian section of it, of course, and we're the Gosford North Sewing Group. If any of you are wanting to know about us, you're more than welcome to come along. We have jobs for everybody, whether you want to, whether you can sew, that's not an issue. And Leah's sitting here, and Leah does a beautiful job of cutting fabric. Yes, so as well as everything else she does. But what Dates for Girls does is we make reusable sanitary packs to send all over the world. Not only to overseas, we actually send them to the outback of Australia, to PNG. We do them everywhere. And there's even some gone, I believe, to New Zealand, which none of us believe that people in New Zealand need them, but they do. There's people that need them. We give them to refugees. We give them to lots of people. Every pack that we make, we actually, it's right from word go. We make the bags that you can see here. We make the bags, we do the ribbons, everything is in here. We've learned a really good way now. When we put everything in here, we have to get the air out. And down at the doTERRA convention, we learnt that you sit on them. Okay, you just leave a little bit of air and then you sit. And then that's all the air out, which is really good. But we pack these, and what they are is they are completely, they do open, reusable sanitary packs. So we send a couple of pair of undies for the girls. We send them these, which are the shields, which go around the undies. Okay, that goes round. We give them a cake of soap. For those of you who've bought us
thank you everybody
tonight,
that brought us
thank
soaps.
you. Because a lot of hotels and places don't use these little soaps anymore. So any that we can get is really good. We really like the little ones like that if we can, because they're better. If any of you have bigger ones, that's okay. We distribute them elsewhere, but we prefer these ones. And then the pads that go in there, or the little shields that go in there. Yeah. So, and they're all, all of this. So you can see that our fabrics are all what we use. And anyone that's bought fabrics tonight, we really appreciate it because we like to be able to have different ones and make them, you know, all nice.
Yep,
We
so
give
had
them
some of these donated.
Oh,
tonight too.
wonderful. Face washes, because then they use them. Yeah, undies.
This is a really clever way of folding up undies.
Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. I don't ever volunteer for that job. They suggested that I do it last time. I went, no, you can do that. I'm the storeroom organiser, so I live in the cupboard. That's where I live, okay, virtually. I said, no, you all do a good job. Please do that. But we give them 2 pair of those undies. We also give them 2 plastic bags so that they can use one for washing and then the other one. They wear these as a backpack, and you can see there's a very, very small logo there saying Days for Girls. One thing that I didn't realise, but in a lot of the mining communities all over the world, the men go to these mining communities and they actually take suitcases full of pads, tampons, all the rest, everything, right? The first time the girl has the period, they give them to them. The second time they have the period, what do they ask for in return for giving it to them? That, to me, like I cried when I heard that. But because our girls wear these on their backs and go to school with them on, and it says Days for Girls, a lot of these men have said, oh, somebody cares about these ladies, somebody cares about these girls, and the amount of trafficking of these girls has dropped dramatically. And that, as I said, I just cried. It was just so emotional for me. I told my husband, and he's standing there going, like, you know, he was a bit like the same way. So that's something that we do, and that, you know, everything that everybody's brought for us tonight is just amazing. And thank you so much. And our big fundraiser is next Sunday, which is very exciting. And this tonight, anything that we raise tonight will also help, because Tara's also helped with the foundation, and they've matched our fundraising, and it's all brilliant. So if there's anybody that wants to help, we take lots and lots of helpers. We love doing it. It's the biggest buzz in the room. There's probably 50 or 60 women. So as you can imagine, there's a lot of women. A lot of talking, a lot of noise. There's sewing machines going, there's people packing, there's lots of things happening. But you're more than welcome to come along. And anybody also who doesn't sew, that's not an issue. There's lots of jobs. But if you do sew or know people who do sew, we've got jobs that we can send home for them. You don't have to come to the meetings. You don't have to. We can organise that for you. And when we say we're the Gosford North Sewing Group, it's just because that's what the Rotary Group is, and we all get together. And there's another group at Avoca too, and we're all very friendly with each other and do lots of things. Thank you. The fundraiser next Sunday is our big Christmas in July fundraiser, and it's something that we do. We usually do a fundraiser every year, but we didn't actually do one last year, but we've done another one this year. There's 190 women or people. I'm not sorry, I shouldn't say that. It's sold out. Yeah, which is just amazing. Yeah. And we've got lots and lots and lots of silent auctions that they're having. And one of those today, Dee rang me this morning actually, and one of those is Gay Waterhouse. You can go down to Gay Waterhouse's stables, go around, look at the horses, and actually get to have refreshments with Gay Waterhouse. So that's, you know, I mean, that's just amazing. It's probably would be valued at quite a lot of money, but that's one of the silent auctions. And I actually have a list of them on my phone if anybody wants to know what they are. Yes, yes. So
Well, I've got it if you want it.
yeah,
If you
yeah.
want to have a look.
Yeah.
I've got it.
Yeah, we've
And a
got
lot of
it.
events do that now.
Yes, yes. So we've got that, and there's also raffles that we'll have on the day, and you know that's the thing. And for every $15 we raise, every $15 is another kit. That's you know, don't you love that? I don't do that either. I don't
3
choose
years,
it.
3 years one of these will last.
Yes, yeah.
So it's 3 years will be washable, and that child can go to school.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the thing. If you can work with the women and the children and the girls and get them to go to school, they're not missing school.
Yeah.
And
But we're
you know,
taking like a badge of honour.
Yeah.
They feel very privileged. I've had a girlfriend take them over to Zimbabwe, and the girls that got them there didn't even have So when they menstruate, they can't go to school, they can't do anything. So for them to even get a pair of underpants, get a face cloth, to wash themselves and have a minute to think. They use the backpacks to put their school books in, and they wear it proudly. Like, yeah, they feel very honoured to get it. And in fact, the older sisters and the carers and the mothers, oh, is there any more for us? You know, but it's just, yeah.
And we don't just put those on a plane, right, and send them. We educate them, and we do, like, there's these really good flip charts with lots and lots of really interesting things. And actually one part I noticed today, I hadn't actually looked at that part, you can teach them how to wash their hands.
Yes.
So like it's not just base, you know, that sort of thing. But before they get our kids, the things that they use, like I was shocked that they actually use Riverstone, pieces of mattress stuffing, anything to stop their flow so that they can go to school. You know, so it's brilliant. So thank you everyone for coming. If there's any questions, please, you know, and I'll put a thing there for your name, and things. I'm not going to be, you know, harassing you or doing anything, but if any of you want to know any more, then that's there and we can help you. Is there anyone who wants to ask any questions?
Can I just add that Byron has reached out to doTERRA, so anything that we make tonight and next Sunday, doTERRA are going to actually match. So everything that you've contributed is amazing because doTERRA is going to double it. So thank you so much for supporting, and everyone online as well. How many tickets did you say we sold online? We've made about $500.
We've made about $500. So
yeah,
$1,000. And we've still got more time. So if you're watching this recording, then jump on and buy a ticket.
$10 or $15 for a kit would be amazing.
Yep. Great.
Yeah.
And doTERRA is equaling the amount of funds raised up to $10,000. So let's get to
make it pay for it.
Let's get to $10,000 and then doTERRA will equal that.
That would be amazing.
Our local girls will have 20 grand to buy material and equipment and get these kits to places that are needed.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Wonderful.
So
thank you.
Thank you. People still pay $10 to catch the replay recording.
Totally.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we can still keep those up on tonight.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All the way to the end of the month.
Yeah. So last but not
Thank
least,
you, Jenny.
we have Alicia. Woo! And Alicia's going to share with you some low tox living tips.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
I'm scared of this thing.
You're in control.
Do you want to do like a signal and I'll like press the button for you?
Oh, that would be awesome. Then I don't have to think about it. Done. All right.
Give me the look, girl.
There. I have just. Thanks, Jill. Coming around is everything pretty much that I'm talking about tonight, because I will flick through some things because I won't have enough time to talk about it, because I could go on for days and days and days about low tox living. I'm Alicia, if you haven't met me. I've been using doTERRA nearly 4 years. And what an awesome journey it has been. So things that I'm talking about tonight, I personally can't say that I am 100% on board with everything. I think it's something that when you start with doTERRA, it's about how the oils can support you physically and emotionally. And as you kind of go on, you start learning about, you know, the broader side of your health and how the oils can not only just support you physically and emotionally, but also implementing small changes in your life to decrease that toxic load to help the long-term side of your health. So pretty much, does everyone know what low tox living is? Has people kind of dabbled into making changes in their world to, yeah? So I remember my daughter is now 3, and when she was about, I think she was about 1, I was cleaning my shower. I'd been using the oils for ages, And I had her in the high chair, and I'm cleaning the shower with bleach and, you know, everything that you normally do as a mum and housekeeper. And I remember I was coughing up a lung. I had the window open, but I still just was so like caught by the fumes and all that of the bleach. And my daughter started coughing, and I was standing in a puddle of bleach in my shower, and I thought, what am I doing? Like, I put these beautiful oils on my feet, and within like 22 seconds, they're in my bloodstream. And here I'm standing in bleach. What is that doing to my health? So I just had that aha moment, which I think everyone needs to have. Until you have that, you can make all the changes, but I think you have to have that personal realization that using the oils and then seeing how they quickly change, you know, your health or your emotions. Seeing things like bleach and chemicals in your home, you sit there and you think, man, like, what are these doing to my body? So I remember that day I chucked out all the chemicals in my house, and I have started cleaning with my oils, which I will talk about later. But low tox living is pretty much putting your health and the health of the planet at the forefront of your mind when you're making decisions on what you're buying, purchasing decisions and all those kind of things. So living in 2019, it's really difficult to live an organic, toxin-free life, just because of the way we live. So even just today, as I woke up, I thought I'm going to be really mindful of what I see and what I use in the day, and just see how much I can still implement change in my life. So, you know, making sandwiches and putting them in Glad wrap, you know, plastics don't degrade as well as what we wish they did. So being aware of our lifestyle and the impact that it's having on our future generation, and not just our generation, but our kids' generation, is really, really important. I love the quote that I saw online, and it's only one straw mentality. So, you know, people who go and buy, you know, a milkshake and they have a plastic straw in there, and they're like, oh, it's only one straw. But if you look at everyone in this world having a plastic straw and what that does to our earth and how long it takes to break down and all those different things, if we just make that small change and we encourage other people to make that small change, then we can actually make a big change for not only our generation, but also our kids' generation and our grandkids' generation, which is really important. Go Jill. Has anyone heard of Chemical Maze? So I love this app, and it was kind of the turning point for me, learning about all the chemicals that are in our everyday, you know, our food additives and our cosmetic ingredients and things like that. So if you haven't already got this on your phone, I highly recommend downloading it. So it's about $10.99 on iPhone and on Android. So it goes into, you know, if you go to the shops and you buy, I'm going to use, there's Jody, the Johnson & Johnsons, for example, using them on babies, people automatically give them as baby presents, but people are not realizing what they're actually putting in the water that they're bathing their kids in. So I don't have time to go into it tonight, but I can send you what I found, and I was actually mortified to see through Chemical Maze the ailments, the allergies, and the symptoms that these products that we're putting on our kids does to their overall health. So you can see over here the food additives. It gives you an unhappy face, a smiley face, or a really, really angry face. So it kind of gives you that view to be able to make wise choices when you are at the shops and you're buying things for your kids. You know, even food additives. So many times we buy food for our kids or for ourselves, and we go, oh, that looks like a healthy option. But if you turn over and you look at the ingredients and all the additives and things and preservatives and colours is a massive thing for a lot of behavioural issues and different things. So if you jump on and you type those ingredients in, it will give you a real eye-opening to what you're actually, one, putting on your body and also what you're ingesting. So highly recommend Chemical Maze as an awesome resource for your family. Next one. So just a few cool little things that I, have learned putting this together, and also things that I've already implemented in my home. I learned about plants. So plants are a great way to help low toxins and things in our home. So it creates cleaner air, it reduces carbon monoxide and gases. If you have one in your room, it actually helps make cleaner air while you're sleeping. So having fresh, beautiful plants in your home is a great way to help have cleaner air, and you can also help them grow by using your oils. So you can add geranium, frankincense, and lemongrass, and they actually help your beautiful plants grow.
How do you add them?
In a spray bottle, just with water, and it helps them stay healthy and vibrant. So that's just something that I learnt in this last couple of weeks as I've been researching. So I do have plants in my house. So I'm nurturing them just that little bit more because I see the benefit, not just because they're pretty, which is why I had it in my house to start with. So next one, please, Jill. Another thing is natural skincare. So anything that we're putting on our body, like I said before, is entering our bloodstream, and so many things that we are putting on our body create hormone disruptors. So things like body wash and deodorants and fragrances and hairspray, all these things that we naturally use, we're not realizing the effects that they're having on our health. So something that I have tried to implement myself over this journey that I've been on is decreasing a lot of those chemicals that I'm putting on my body and on my face. So like fractionated coconut oil is awesome as a natural makeup remover. So instead of using, those little pads that you can get that have different chemicals and things in it and fragrances, which then go into your bloodstream, it's a great way to use that as an alternative. Essential oils are great to nourish the skin. So doTERRA have amazing skin care ranges that are essential oils, plant extracts without all the unnecessary chemicals that are in them. So if you're not using the doTERRA range, I highly recommend it because doTERRA puts so much love into their products, and it's something that we can just have so much confidence in knowing that they're looking after us as well, So I love the Barrage one. So down the side, it's got increases and improves skin barrier, recovery and function, skin hydration, elasticity and firmness, reduces lines, fine wrinkles. I could just lather myself in that. And the trans epidermal water loss. So we lose a lot of hydration through our skin, not just our face, but our skin as a whole. So making sure that we are drinking a lot of water and also looking after our skin is really important. The other thing that I love is making your own body scrubs and your perfumes. So many of us run workshops where you can come and make your own perfumes. I do body scrub ones a lot because they're great as presents. So instead of going and buying, going to the body shop and different things, make your own. It's cheap, it's thoughtful. People love homemade gifts, and you're giving them that gift of a low tox alternative. So beautiful way to reduce all those chemicals and things in your home. So something that I am very passionate about is ditching the plastics. So I am struggling at the moment with Woolworths having Lion King Ooshies because...
And the Coles, the mini...
see, I don't care about the Coles ones. It's the Lion King Ooshies. What, the Coles? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Go, no Coles. Something that I really started learning when Coles and Woolies and all these companies started taking plastic bags out. At first I was like, how dare they? That's so inconvenient. Oh, I forgot my bags. I'm going to have to buy another bag. There's another, you know, $1 that I'm putting onto my grocery bill. And I kind of went through this stage of, so inconvenient, how rude. And then when I actually started looking at why they were doing it, it made sense. So if you look over on the side, how long does trash stick around? So I know this is American because they call things trash. But plastic cutlery, 100 to 1,000 years for plastic cutlery to not be present in our world anymore. Toothbrushes. So you can buy bamboo toothbrushes which break down. If you're buying normal toothbrushes, 1,000 tons go into landfill every year annually. So when you are thinking about those small little things that you can do to implement in your home and to encourage your friends and family to do, like this is massive for our earth, looking after our earth. Switching to glass or stainless steel. So like not using your Ziploc bags and not using your Glad wrap anymore and things like that, and you know, getting rid of all those, I guess they're convenient to some people, but in the long term of what it does for not only our health, because any plastics go into our food, and you know, if you have things in your drink bottle and you're using a plastic drink bottle, the chemicals and things as they degrade go into our food and our the liquid in those things, and they end up going into our bloodstream and affecting our health. So switching to glass or stainless steel is super important. I'm actually going through a bit of a stage at the moment where I'm about to chuck all my Tupperware out. So if you want Tupperware, I am not going to give it to you because I'm going for low tox, and I'm not going to add to your tox in your home. But things like that, as even Tupperware degrade.
Where does Tupperware go to die, like in that case?
Where do they go to
Where
die?
are you going to kill it? Are you
You're
send it
going to
back?
put it into land?
Is it recyclable?
No, I don't know what I'm doing yet. I've just been thinking about this. Bushies. No, because I see even my Tupperware I've had for years and years, I can see all the cracks starting and I can see it breaking down. And I sit there and I go, how on earth does this not go into our food? You know, like, so it's just this mindset that I've had this switch recently where I'm realizing that, hey, I should invest in some glass storage stuff for our food, and, you know, going and using stainless steel lunch boxes and things like that, so that I'm taking that out of my kids and our world. So, yeah, so other things like some plastics, never. Microplastics affect our wildlife and our sea life. Scientists predict there'll be more plastic than fish in our oceans by 2050. Like, I sit there and I think of my beautiful kids and the world that we're creating for them by convenience. You know, like it may take a little bit longer to wash out a container than it would to have Glad wrap or something. But if you look at the long-term effects it's having on our earth, that's quite scary. That's not that long away. So if we don't have fish and we don't have our sea life, it's like a domino effect of, you know, everything else that comes in life. So, yeah, I'm super, super passionate about this. Things that I do, I have collapsible laundry baskets that I leave in the back of my car. So when I go to the shops now, I put everything back in my trolley, I go to my car, I throw everything into my collapsible laundry baskets, pick them up, take them inside, unpack, put them back in my car. So I know they're plastic, but instead of using 100 different bags, I've got a laundry basket that's going to last me, hopefully, years and years and years.
Most farm market gives you free boxes.
Yeah, and I saw over here too, the veggie bags. I don't know, these are another great alternative for your shopping. So just being mindful of those things is really important long term. So excellent. Cleaning. So this was my first low tox, I guess, thing that I did in our home. I had that episode with my bleach, and then I realized, hey, I can be cleaning with my oils. So our oils are antibacterial, antiviral, antiseptic, disinfectant properties. Some other great low tox cleaning supplies that I'm sure so many of us have in our home already, which you can implement into your cleaning. So Epsom salts. There's so many ways you can use Epsom salts in your home. So I use them in my bath and things like that, but they're great even to help clean your oven, because it gives that granular to get any tough stains off. Liquid cast iron soap. Make up your own soaps. Instead of having fragrant soaps in your home, make up your cast iron soap, pop a few of your oils into it and use that as your soap. Baking soda, citric acid, white vinegar. So many just common, cheap staples that we can buy are great for cleaning low tox in your home. Plus, these are my two cute little babies over here. Eamon is 6 and Zali's 3, and they love cleaning now. So it's a family affair. It's not all on me because I'm not using chemicals. So they get up and they spray the benches and they spray the windows. So it's a bit of a family affair. And I love that I'm teaching my kids those life skills without them having harmful chemicals around them also. So another thing I'm a little bit passionate about is, you know, beating the BO basher. So how many people here still use aluminium-based deodorants? And you're okay. It's okay to say that you do. So this is something that I had been wanting to change, and I didn't realise the effect of aluminium until I started researching it. So clogged pores lead to toxic buildup, causing long-term health effects. So we are meant to sweat. Sweating is a natural process to get rid of the toxins in our body. It's a good thing. We don't want to be clogging them up so that those toxins are staying in our body. So aluminium, so antiperspirant deodorants were created not only to keep the odour at bay, but they do that by clogging our pores underneath our arms. So controlling our body odour doesn't have to risk our health. So there's a few different ones. So black chicken, I know that Vicky, do you still use that? And the doTERRA one. So black chicken is a natural based deodorant, which I know so many people use. I used the doTERRA's the first one, like the natural, and I did not like it at all. And when they brought the balanced one out, it was such a game changer. Even my husband loves using it now, which I love. So obviously natural based deodorants will last for a certain amount of time, and then you start smelling like you can smell yourself again. So this is me over here detoxing my pits, because it's important to release those toxins. So I do the doTERRA mud mask and I do my face while I do my pits. So as soon as you start smelling, you want to pop that under your pits, pop it on your face at the same time, and give yourself some self-love. When you first start using them, I used to do it like weekly, and then now I can go maybe a month without having to do it. But if you think of the amount of time that you've been using aluminium-based deodorants, you think of all those toxins that are stuck in your body wants to excrete them and get them out. So stick with it. If you sit there and think, oh, I'm still smelling, keep turning to this, and you will eventually find that your body gets rid of all of that, and you will notice that your natural deodorant will work better. That's my BO basher. So I love my earth, and I love culture, and I love everything about where we live. I love the coast. I love that we're near the beach, but I also love the mountains, you know, and if we're not looking after our earth, then I'd hate to know where it's going to be when I'm older and my kids are older as well. So I love people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. So putting yourself in that position where you make these small little changes in your life are vital for your kids' future and your grandkids' future and your great-grandkids' future. So, yeah, I absolutely love it. But I did want to, I'm a bit of a visual, practical learner. So I did bring a little spray bottle. And does anyone use the oils to clean within their home? Are there anyone that doesn't?
I have a cleaner.
Well, you need to get your cleaner onto these. So I have these beautiful little glass spray bottles. These ones as well are awesome, especially when you are cleaning your shower, obviously because you need like a bigger amount. But these ones here are great just to have in your kitchen. You can make toilet sprays. You can spray your toilet with it. If someone's sick in your home, go and spray like doorknobs. And, you know, I have stairs in my home, so I spray down my stairs. If anyone's sick, I don't have dogs, but dogs are great, another great way. So in these, I just make up a multi-purpose spray. You don't have to stick to anything specific, but I do On Guard and Lemon because it protects our family from bacteria, kills anything that's on our thing. So just to show you how quick and easy it is to make your own. In this size, I usually do about 10. And then I do, nah, I did too many, didn't I? It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Yeah, that's all right. And then all you do is like fill that up with water and then put your cap on, give it a little shake, and then that's your multi-purpose spray. So easy, so quick, and it's not toxic. So you're getting rid of the chemicals in your home, you're protecting your kids. Your kids can go and spray this. They spray it on their face. Who cares? Like, it's all good. Little bit of, but yeah, so thanks for having me. I also want to say, last convention, not the one we just had, the one before, was the first time I learned about Days for Girls. And I cried and cried, and I could cry right now. You guys do amazing things. So being here tonight is such an honour. So thank you. And thanks to Vicky and Byron for putting it on. Did you say you don't use it?
Put some water in it, Thank you, So before we do some prizes, because I know there's probably some people in this room that want to maybe win a prize, I just want to honour everybody for tonight. So first of all, I want to honour Byron for having us in this space, and for the technical. Are you listening? No, I'm honouring you right now. We're honouring Byron for the space. We're honouring Byron for all the background stuff that he does and helping to get tonight together. So thank you. Yay. I'd like to thank Izzy for coming along and sharing. Alicia, Jill, and Jody. Alicia, Jill, Jody, and Izzy, and myself, all obviously run our own doTERRA businesses. We run workshops and things like that as well. So please do look us up if you want to learn more. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and all that kind of thing. I have my flyer here if you want to know what workshops I have coming up. Jill has a business card here. Did you ladies bring anything like that?
Mine's on the back.
On the back of that. So if you want to reach out to us, I like to think of us as a community. You know, we might be in separate teams within the Pure Oils community, but we are still a community, so we can keep learning off each other. So please do follow us and look us up if you want to. And then, of course, thank you to Jenny for coming along tonight and sharing, and also bringing your display. So please feel free to have a little look at all this. We do have tea, and we do have brownies and fruit and chocolate cake. I think
everything chocolate.
Chocolate cake with wild orange tangerine.
And the brownies are gluten dairy free.
Yeah. And the brownies are gluten dairy free. So if you need to rush off, that's cool. But if you want to have something to eat, let's do that too. So the first prize I'm going to draw is the lucky door, which is the massive spray bottle. So that's for someone who likes mega cleaning. We've got the Serenity or the Lavender Peace bath bar. We've got a cheer roller.
Where did you get that? They're not in stock.
I have like a stockpile of those.
The high boils.
No,
The bath bar.
Well,
It's a bit stinky in my house.
Did you get a draw?
No, I didn't put anybody that presented in that entry.
All this time they dedicated to the entry.
And then to go with the low tox theme, there's some cleaning recipes and then some stickers as well. So you can get busy making your own non-toxic recipes. So here you go, Byron. You can.
Oh, special there.
Yep. You've only got one.
We've got two here. What's going on? There's
One. To the death.
Canny Wells?
Carly.
Sorry, that double L looks like an N.
That's my writing. That's my writing. Well done,
Carly Wells, well done.
Woohoo for you. Carly's actually in my team. She wins prizes quite a lot too, don't you? So you know.
Lucky.
I know.
There you go, you're in good company. Yeah.
Okay, and we also have for those people who bought their ticket online. So is this still going? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So for anybody that's watching online or bought their ticket for tonight online, didn't give me cash, your name is in here, and we're drawing out 3 winners for the Hope Oils. So let's see who we've got here.
And we're going to have the recording up as well, so you can share that with others who donate $10, right? Because remember, that $10 is doubled. It's going to be $20 of paying for a kit. First one is Sharon Delavecchio.
Is she watching?
She could be.
Is Shaz on? How will we know?
There you go, Shaz.
There we go.
There's a bit of hope for you. So a little bit about hope as well. There's still hope for you, mother-in-law. We still have a chance. So this has bergamot, ylang ylang, frankincense, but every dollar of this goes to the same foundation that is providing or equaling the money that's been donated to Days for Girls. So that's $22, and when you buy that through your doTERRA account, that $22, all that goes to Healing Hands Foundation.
100%.
Okay, next
Right,
two.
number 2.
Olivia Reed in New Zealand.
Awesome.
$22 in postage and $22 in Hope Oil.
Yeah, I'll go. She needs to come
Okay,
over
good.
and I'll go.
That'll be way cheaper.
Yeah, I'll go. I can help, She's
Hey,
going to need an escort.
we can always put in a request with Healing Hands. So we can do. Jacqueline Waters.
Oh, she's in my team. Awesome.
There we go. Team Drennan.
Awesome.
Clean it up. Awesome. Congratulations, guys. And thank you, everybody, for coming along
Yeah,
tonight.
thank you for coming.
Watching online and just buying a ticket, and yeah, keep on sharing the recording. I'll give you guys a link, and let's have some cake.
Yeah. And if you have my pen, I would love my pen back. Thank you.
Are they lefties?